Hey everybody, welcome to another model building workshop. I am Mr. Allen from the Community Libraries of Providence, the Smith Hill location, and coming to you from Providence, Rhode Island. We're going to be talking about some oddball stuff today. This is the T-38 and a T-37 amphibious light tanks from the Red Army from World War II. And I've got a few of these things, and so this one's saying from Cooperativa, I guess, was the model company that put this one out. I think the T-37 is from DIY models, but I'm not positive. So, because I built it a while ago, not really sure now. So let me give you a quick peek at what these are. So these were 1930s Soviet amphibious tanks. They have little propellers in the back of them with a rudder, kind of rudimentary steering system, only armed with a machine gun, although some of these I think might have been outgunned to have maybe a 20 millimeter gun. But generally, little machine gun carriers. And so this is the T-38. This is the 38 here. And the earlier version was the 37. I believe this one originated from like 1933. You can see the, try to get closer there so you can see the propeller, rudder system. The turret's on the opposite side of the T-38, T-37. That's one of the quick ways of spotting the differences. I mean, there are some other engine deck features that are different. They're essentially like the same concept of a single turret machine gun carrying amphibious tank. So there's pros and cons to these things naturally. I mean, the pro is you've got something that can at least cross a small river or stream, or, well, maybe not a stream, a river, I guess. Something, a pond, what have you. This thing could float across and get you a reconnaissance vehicle on the other side and, machine gun. So it's got that potential. But the armor is so thin on these things, the combat value is almost nil. So, and these were used in World War II briefly. And let me get a little bit of data around this. Yeah, so the T-37A, basically this one here, when did that enter production? Around 1933. And let's see, it's about a 3-ton vehicle. Crew of 2. Well, obviously. How many more guys are you going to fit in that? Can go about 22 miles an hour. And it was based on a British Vickers tank, or tankette in that case. And it was mass produced from 33 to 36. Basically just reading off Wikipedia here for the most part. And they were used in Poland, and then they went to war against Finland, and into World War II. And let's find the 38. Came about, 1937-ish. A few years later. That lasted till 43, pretty much, in frontline use. And apparently it wasn't a whole lot better than the 37, so it wasn't that much of an improvement. And armor is about between 3 and 9 millimeters thick, is what it's saying here, which is pretty poor. And again, armed with the 7.62 DT machine gun. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So my guess is that the T-37 kit here, I'm guessing it is the DIY models not positive because oddly, I usually save instruction sheets and information, and you'll see some of that in a moment. But this one, I don't know what I did with everything. Maybe I threw something away for a change. I tend to keep a lot of stuff around for, it comes in handy for this kind of reason, right? So let's take a look at some of the instruction sheets I do have for the Cooperativa T-38. Very basic Eastern Bloc, Eastern European style, Russian model with very simple. Actually, let's look at it. Like I said, I thought it was molded in Russia on the box, but its instructions here are in Czech, British, and German. And it does say molded in Russia on here. I guess it was exported. So yeah, this one's got you could do a Canon version here, as you can see. So that option did exist. Yeah, no, yeah, it was a 20 millimeter machine gun was the other option. So it does give you, that kit gave you this version, either olive green or dark green coloring. Like the box art shows you one, it was from the Winter War era, captured by Finland, with the blue and white stripes. And here's your instruction sheet, such as it is, and all its glory. So it's not a very complicated build, other than the complexity of the molds is, it's not bad. I mean, you can put it together, but now there are kits by Hobby Boss that are probably significantly better molded and better detailed than these. I haven't opened them up to take a look at those. I haven't bothered to buy them, as I don't know how they are, but I'm assuming there will be a vast improvement to these kits. But this was the fun of these was that you're buying these Eastern Bloc model kits, and I've had these a while, so I picked them up back when the fall of the Soviet Union, and you suddenly had Eastern European kits showing up. It's kind of cool. Oh, look, and something that you probably never saw before, because I knew nothing about these little things. These are such oddball vehicles, which, if you haven't noticed, I crave the oddball stuff. And I like tankettes and light tanks in particular, so this was right up my alley. Yeah, so you get some options here for the two different guns, and it had link and length track as on this kit. Again, I'll show you that one more time, so you can see what the assembly looked like. Let's see what else I got here. I have a few different moldings. Yeah, because this is significantly worse. So this was one that is Russian, and it's from AER models. So one of these is from here. And you can see the instruction sheet is very lacking on this one. It's basically a blow-up diagram and a prayer. And there's nothing on the back. So that's an older version. And of course, I tend to do this. I enlarged it on a photocopier so I could get a better look at what was going on in that diagram. Not that that helps a whole lot. What else we got here? And here's another. Well, that's not even an instruction sheet. That's just something that was in the box. Yeah, for that variant. I did not do the long-barreled gun version because I just thought the detail of that was and the machine gun looked, not that the machine gun on that kit is particularly stunning, But trust me, it looked better than the other option. And this kit on the 37 has a much better molded, better looking gun. And I've got one more here. This is one. Yeah, so there's slight improvements to this one. It's a slightly better gun to it. You can see that. And this is one that's captured by the Hungarians. I did find that on a decal sheet for various captured Russian vehicles on the Eastern Front. So that option was there, and I thought that was colorful and interesting, so I decided to try it. And that is a completely unrelated instruction sheet for something different for hopefully an upcoming video, so forget you saw that. So, I did not glue this turret down. It's a little loose on this one. So as you can tell, they put anything that they didn't want to get soaked on top. You can see the nickname there, that interesting emblem they've got for the Hungarian unit, and the bright green, white, and red emblem. So this would have been probably 41, 42 when they were using this insignia for the Hungarian military. They later switched to the white cross on a black square, which is slightly less, I don't know if it's less visible. I don't know if that makes sense, but maybe easier for the German allies. Not completely sure what the changes were in the markings, although at that point in the war, when they switched to that marking, I might be saying this backwards. Let me start it over again. So, at the start of hostilities, the Hungarians didn't actually have an official emblem for their tank corps, and there were variations of emblems. So there's, a bunch of different variants of the green cross on the white and red, kind of similar style to the Germans. But sometimes they were done in squares, sometimes they were done, and this one's like I guess an octagon, like a stop sign. Some that were done put in circles. And then there was a Maltese cross version. It looks similar to the World War I Imperial German emblem, although it's a white cross that they used. So that was also in use in around 41. So you might see both of those unit insignias for national identity on Hungarian tanks in the early part of the war, and then they eventually standardized the white cross on the black square later in the war. So this one's just a typical Red Army one. Get on my chair so you can get a better look at these. Because sometimes these wouldn't even have insignia. They would just put them out there kind of as is. Just a coat of paint. Although the 37, as we saw from the box art too, from the DIY models, which is, I'm assuming that's what this is still, but interesting. I camouflaged the bottom of this tank just to practice my airbrushing. Just saw that. Thought that was kind of funny. So, and this is kind of a typical insignia that would have been pre-war and early war for the Red Army. And kind of a fun camouflage screen. Boy, these lights are a little harsh down here, unfortunately, but we are in a basement. So that's got the fun airbrush technique. Currently, my airbrush is needing some repairs. I'll probably just get another one. So I've not been airbrushing lately, but this is, and this had individual length tracks, as you can see. So this kit was a little more detailed, had more work going for it than these other kits that were, the Lincoln length track, and these are actually fairly simple to put together by comparison. I think the 37's got a little bit more going for it as far as features. The shape's a little different. I believe what they did to help these things float was put cork under these I guess fenders. I think that was part of what they did to help keep these things afloat. A lot of different techniques, I guess, they used. So these are 35th scale, and they are tiny tankettes. And let me give you an example. Grab some figures here. I got some Africa Corps figures from Tamiya here, just to give you a sense of the scale of these things. So I mean, it's not a big tank, obviously. I think, it's probably about the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. We've got this anti-tank gun out from a previous episode sitting here. So, I mean, gives you an idea how puny these things are. Anyway, some fun models to look for while you're out there. I tended to find these again. I found all of these in model shows, and although this one I might have picked up at a local store. Yeah, I did. That one came from a shop that I know. So, but these are things you would find at a hobby show or a shop that has oddball, weird things. You blow the dust off and go, "Ooh, what's this?" We have a few of those in the Rhode Island and Massachusetts area that have some odd stuff like this. You can probably source these on the internet. Although I'm going to say the new Hobby Boss is probably going to be less headaches than these. Although I don't know how they do their tracks. Anyway, keep on building, have fun out there, and keep doing what you do. All right? Keep working, have fun. And we'll catch you next time on the next Model Building Workshop.